Before the fame, before the fire-breathing stages and painted faces, Gene Simmons was just a poor immigrant boy named Chaim Witz. Born in Israel and raised by a single mother who survived the Holocaust, Gene came to America with almost nothing. He didn't speak much English, but he had a dream to be someone the world would never forget. In New York City, he watched the rich and powerful and thought, why not me? While other kids played ball, Gene studied pop culture, branding, and how to make things that sell. He didn't just want to be a musician, he wanted to be a legend. That hunger would soon lead him to form a band that changed everything. In 1973, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley created Kiss, a band designed not just to play music but to be a show. They added Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, and soon came the black and white makeup, the wild costumes, and the roaring pyrotechnics. Gene was not only the bassist, he was the mastermind. He wanted Kiss to be bigger than rock. He said, "We're not just a band, we're a brand." By 1976, Kiss was selling out arenas. The live album Alive made them stars. But Gene was already thinking about something else, how to turn Kiss into an empire. While other rock stars lived wild and spent their money, Gene treated the band like a corporation. He trademarked the Kiss logo, licensed the band's name on everything from lunchboxes to comic books. Kiss wasn't just on stage, they were in toy stores, on cereal boxes, and even in TV cartoons. Gene saw that image could be more valuable than the music itself. By the late 70s, Kiss merchandise was bringing in millions. At one point, they were making more money from products than album sales. Simmons once said, "The Kiss Army buys more than just records. They buy a piece of the dream." He was right. In 1977 alone, Kiss reportedly made over $100 million in merchandise sales. For a band that had started just 4 years earlier, it was staggering. Each member took home a fortune, but Gene was always one step ahead. He invested in real estate, movies, and business ventures. While others fought over fame, he quietly built wealth. When disco came and punk arrived, Kiss's popularity dipped, but Gene's strategy protected him. He wasn't just surviving as a musician, he was thriving as an entrepreneur. The 80s brought big changes. Kiss took off the makeup in 1983. A bold move that kept them relevant. They released hits like Lick It Up and Heaven's on Fire, reaching a whole new generation. Gene also went into Hollywood. He acted in films like Runaway and Wanted Dead or Alive, and produced other acts. Though his acting career wasn't massive, it added more income streams. By mid-decade, his net worth was estimated in the tens of millions. But Gene wasn't satisfied. He wanted legacy money, wealth that would outlive him.
KISS became the most merchandised rock band in history. From coffins to credit cards, from pinball machines to action figures, there was nothing Gene wouldn't brand. He once said, "If you don't like KISS merchandise, don't buy it, but it will still sell out." By the 1990s, KISS had generated more than $1 billion in total merchandise revenue. Simmons' share made him one of the richest musicians on earth. He became the symbol of the idea that music can be both art and business. In 1996, Gene and Paul brought the original lineup back full makeup, full firepower. The reunion tour shattered records, earning over $143 million in its first run. Fans were nostalgic, and Gene capitalized perfectly. He sold new merchandise, live albums, and even collectible KISS dolls. The band was everywhere again, and Gene's bank account exploded. By the early 2000s, his net worth crossed $300 million. He had become more than a musician. He was a brand in human form. In 2006, Gene Simmons took his empire to TV with Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. The show ran for 7 seasons, giving viewers a peek into his life, the mansion, the cars, the family, the money. But it wasn't just reality TV, it was marketing. Every episode kept KISS and Simmons in the public eye. It made him a household name beyond rock fans. He launched books, business seminars, and speaking tours. Simmons showed that being visible meant being valuable. His message was simple: don't wait for someone to pay you. Be your own boss. Today, Gene Simmons' net worth is estimated between $400 and $500 million, though he insists it's higher. He owns multiple homes in California, Las Vegas, and Canada. He earns from royalties, branding deals, licensing, and investments. Even after KISS's final tour in 2023, the money didn't stop. The band sold off their music catalog and image rights reportedly for over $300 million. Simmons' cut ensured that his fortune will keep growing even in retirement. He often says, if you're only making money while you're awake, you're doing it wrong. Gene Simmons built an empire from nothing, from the son of a Holocaust survivor to one of the wealthiest figures in rock history. His story is a masterclass in ambition. He turned shock rock into a business empire, treating his band like a brand decades before anyone else did. While critics mocked him for being too commercial, Gene laughed all the way to the bank. He still believes money is freedom, not greed. "I never wanted to be rich," he once said. "I wanted to be secure." And that's exactly what he built, not just a fortune, but a legacy that proves rock and business can share the same stage.